And it looks like we're live. Hopefully you can hear me. So first people up, if you do hear me, let me know. And all things conference, 20 Books Vegas 2020. Samstown Live, November 10th to 12th for the main conference, November 9th. Monday, November 9th for Industry Day, big meet and greet. And November 13th for book sales, book signings. Let your fans know as soon as you have a ticket and are in. Let your fans know, and we'll start getting the word out. We'll start getting some graphics together and let people know. So I actually just woke up. I woke up at midnight and stayed up for a while, and then went back and tried to get a little more sleep. And yeah, I'm up again. Anyway, I just got up like 2 minutes ago. So the show, we've got a lot of feelers out. We've got a lot of guest speakers confirmed already, and a lot of feelers out with other folks to see if they're willing to come and share some knowledge with you or just hang out with you. The Ram's Head Bar will be same as it was last year. We'll try to get it extended, maybe get it open a little earlier in the day, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and stay open till 2 or 3 in the morning. So that can be a great place for meet and greet and stuff like that. I'm going to do a quick check here and make sure I'm live and not Memorex. See, go in there. Let's go here. Go here. Okay, good. Looks like I'm live. There we are. Okay, I'm back. I'll be going to Vegas next week to work some of the initial details with the hotel. Even though they know us well, we know them well. They know what we're going to do when we're there. We have all of it. We have all the conference rooms. We have all the rooms in the hotel. And we're going to have a few more signs this year directing people one way or another, because we'll have at least 500 new people this year. So the signs will help direct people. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with Silver City. I think maybe the same thing as last year. We'll have it available as a general break room, and I guarantee we will have catering in there also. Maybe not sodas, but coffee, tea, some snacks, just little things to take the edge off and to get away, hopefully. With 1,500 people, especially, we'll have the Ponderosa room, which is right next to Silver City, overlooking the atrium. Ponderosa, really nice room. That's where we were exclusively in the first year, in 2017. But with people walking back and forth, they'll be diving into Silver City, so it may not be the refuge it was this year. So that's my only concern. Otherwise, it's a great extra space to have. It's big. We will have extra power for that if we're using it for a break room, so you can go charge your laptop, get away, write at all different hours, meet people. I think they played some games in there last year. That was cool. And also we'll have the headshots again this year. Yeah, rough start to the morning. Holy cow. Okay. Look more intent, more intuitive, more thoughtful. We'll have headshots again this year, and Tony Hill doing a great job for us. Troy Hill, sorry. Doing a great job for you guys and setting up and getting their shots done. We'll do the majority of them on Monday during Industry Day. He might set up another day or so in Silver City then and take some pictures, but otherwise shoot to get there for Industry Day on Monday. Meet those folks who are supporting us by getting our products out there, helping our products look better, all of those good things. So we've got the hotel room rate from Sunday, so Sunday night through Thursday night. Friday and Saturday nights are hard to negotiate. They're added cost because those are the big nights in Vegas, Friday night and Saturday night. So getting the room rate from Sunday night through Thursday night, that was easy enough to do. So that's what we've got. So please shoot to get in on Sunday. Monday is going to be a great day because you can whip in, see industry folks for a half hour, stroll around, press the flesh, say hi to people, and then head down to the Strip. Go find a great restaurant. It's Monday night. You should be able to find just about anything, and get yourself some great food and some sleep that night. Even though you'll meet people, I'm sure there'll be a lot of genre meetups and dinners and get-togethers and things like that on Monday night. But then be ready for Tuesday. Tuesday starts the main show. A lot of presentations. I mean, a lot of presentations. We'll have 5 presentations going simultaneously, except for the first hour and a half. That first hour and a half, we're going to have me and Michael bending your ear, saying, spewing our nonsense, and then we'll go into the high-powered authors panel, and then after that, we've got a half-hour break, and we'll have 5 different sessions ongoing simultaneously. And that first session that gets us kicked off will also be an hour and a half. So we do an hour and a half, and then we'll take a half-hour break. And then that first session, this is the big long session. That's the big one for the whole conference. And it's all because of Mal Cooper. It's her fault. She wanted more than 45 minutes, so I made a double session, hour and a half long single session from like 11:30 to 1 or something like that. In that first day. So there will be a number of people. John Truby also asked for an extended session, and so he'll be giving a session for an hour and a half during that time block too. And then we'll have a few others. And after that one, it'll be a 15-minute break or a half-hour break, and then we'll roll into more sessions. And there'll be 5 going on at any time, at any point in time from there till the end of the show. 5 sessions with panels, with presentations, with craft stuff. I've even conceded, and we'll do a few workshops in the best we can. It's still going to be mostly theater seating, chairs, tables across the back, like you've grown accustomed to in all the main rooms. So the tables with the chairs in the back, those are for people who have disabilities, handicaps, can't sit in a chair for a long time. But 45 minutes, besides that one session, 45 minutes, and then at least a 15-minute break. I'm trying to do a half-hour break in between every other session, so you have a good chunk of time that you're off. We'll end by 5 or 5:30 every day, and we want to end at that time because then it gives people plenty of time afterwards to go to dinner, to meet, to do those things that you come to Vegas for. Networking is key. Networking is as an important point of the show, and some people say the most important point. But it's just meeting up with new friends, meeting up with old friends, renewing acquaintances, and making new ones. You're going to find most of us have exactly the same interests, and it's very very little things that separate us. Find what we like together, and go do that. So it's Vegas. There's plenty of places to eat. You'll never be hurting for a place to eat. Make no mistake about that. On Tuesday afternoon, after the keynote that Michael Anderle will deliver, we're going to have I will have host a Marine Corps birthday celebration on the balcony overlooking the atrium. For the new people, we've published maps of Sam's Town. You can find that. It's right over the check-in desk. It overlooks the atrium. It's a separate area right behind the elevators on the second floor. And that we'll have a birthday cake cutting celebration for the Marine Corps, and all veterans are invited. It'll be packed. It's a small area that fits maybe 100 people fit fairly tight. It's better for about 50, but 100 people fit. But we could squeeze 150 in there for all friends, right? And there'll be a pay-as-you-go bar because It's veterans, and I know what they did to my room last year. They drank half my alcohol for 10 people. Drank half my alcohol for the whole week, and that was a bar that was supposed to serve 100, 150 people over the course of 4 days. So those veterans, those guys, well, I hate to, they were all Marines in my case. I shouldn't have been surprised. So we're going to have good contingents from overseas this year. Really good contingents from Australia, UK. The interest is exceptional, as well as elsewhere. We'll have folks from South Africa. We'll have folks from all time zones in Australia. We'll have Asia, Middle East, pretty much everywhere. We're going to have our guests coming from. This is truly an international show. It's much more than what we first envisioned. Hey, a bunch of authors getting together. Well, it is still a bunch of authors getting together, but it's a bunch of authors from all over the planet. We did get Terry Tatchell. I'm pleased to announce that she confirmed yesterday that she'll be able to come back. So thanks, Terry. Glad you're able to make it. As well as John Truby. He confirmed last year. He said, I love this show. I want to come back. Just tell me what you need. And I'm working with him on what presentations we'd like him to give. He offered a couple, and because he's writing another book, a new book, and that one he would like to do a presentation from. So more than open on that. This is John, and it's going to be well prepared and well delivered. The session he wanted a long session on was the one he had in the afternoon, the fix your story, that session. So that's going to be an hour and a half that whoever sits in on that session, you're going to have an hour and a half to talk about that stuff. And I think that'll work well for folks, especially right out of the gate. Here it is, the second main session of the show, and here's John Truby telling you how to fix your story. This is Fairbanks, Alaska. So when you go grocery shopping, you never know what you're going to find. My wife went last week, and there was no lettuce of any sort because the truck hadn't arrived. So no lettuce. I went a couple days ago to pick up creamer because my treat is I have creamer in 1 or 2 cups of coffee in a day. And they didn't have any of the flavors I like, so I got white chocolate raspberry, and that's what I'm having right now. And it's kind of disgusting. So when I take a drink, I'm slugging it. So you do what you have to do. All right. For those of you without creamer, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to demean the non-creamer crowd or lack of being creamer, but if you creamer properly and enjoy. If you don't creamer, enjoy your bean water. All right, back to the conference. I got a bill like 2 weeks ago. I was surprised because I'd asked for a final rectified receipt from Samstown, and it was for like an additional 100 gallons of coffee because I had told them refill the coffee, don't ever let the coffee run dry, and they did, and we drank just a buttload of coffee. So I'm most impressive 20Books crowd. So it's hard to diss, is that the right word? Diss on the green water, on the bean water. Look at, I'm at the top of my game because we drink so much of it. Anyway, catering in all the rooms because we're not having a formal lunch this year just because it's untenable with 1,500 people. So we'll have all the rooms. We'll have catering in all the rooms. I want to take the edge off the restaurants, but also we have rolling sessions. We don't have a break during lunch where everybody needs to run down and get fed within a 1.5 hour block of time. So just find a place where you want to eat and a time you want to eat. And if you have to leave at half of a session or come in at half of a session late, it's all okay. This is we're all adults, so if you come and leave during a session, it's perfectly fine. Or if you don't go to a session, just watch it, stream it while you're eating. That's good too. So that's how we're running this year to get a few more sessions in, since we're recording all of them, and so there's absolutely no possibility that you can get to all of the sessions. The best you can do is get to 20% of them, 1 out of every 5 that's running during each time slot. So all of them will be recorded so you can catch up later, and that'll take care of up through Christmas for most people. And so lunch, just take it whenever. We'll let the hotel know again, hey, staff up during this time. It'll be like 11 to 2 or something like that, just so they have extra people, because it's kind of a pain to leave the hotel for lunch and then not come back. So you go down there. Without the set lunch period, then there's not going to be the crush of people trying to get food in a short amount of time. I have high hopes that will work like it's supposed to, and that Subway will be able to pre-make some sandwiches and have stuff ready. I know they make stuff pretty fast, but not 1,500 people jumping in line worth. But there's the taco place, there's the fast food, but there's also the steak place. And Fridays. Fridays was much better last year than they were the year before. They staffed up. They have new management, and they were run very well. I enjoyed eating there. I ate there a few times. And then, of course, the buffet. You can never miss with the buffet. The only thing you can make a mistake with in the buffet is eating too much. So please show some discipline that I don't show while in the buffet, and you'll be fine. Meat platters and the veggie platters were the biggest hit of everything. Besides the cookies, cookies always went first. As soon as the cookies were put out, they got eaten up. But so more of those, more of the cool stuff, more of the good stuff. So we'll have a good spread. And my point with all of the catering is that you shouldn't have to eat lunch. You can just nibble, pick, and eat what you need to eat, and keep yourself going. Don't starve yourself. Make sure you drink plenty of water. It's Vegas. It's freaking dry. You need to drink twice as much water as you think you need to drink. And then, of course, once you start imbibing after the show's over, then even drink even more water. It's always fun to see people on the second and third day of the show after an all-nighter in Ram's Head. Although Mal always looks amazing and is ridiculously tall, and she said 8-inch heels this year. That's out of control. So somebody waited 45 minutes to an hour to get into the buffet. I can't guarantee that you won't again, but I can guarantee that you won't have the pressure of a compressed time lunch period. You're going to have eat when you want to eat. And I think that is going to be the main thing that will make 1,500 people okay in the hotel. Now, this will be our last year in Samstown. We can no longer be contained within that environment. It's way cool that we own the whole hotel, that we have everything, but we're going to be bigger than that next year in 2021. I expect we'll probably be closer to 2,500. And depending on where we get, we may not have a top end restriction. The only top end restriction will be, are you a member? 20 books of 50K. So for those folks, I did see somebody share the registration notification link outside of the group. Please don't do that, because I'm not vetting those emails against our member list of 20 books of 50K. I really want this to be exclusive to 20 books of 50K members, because you guys have been with us. You guys know the rules. You guys are there. You guys see what we're all about, and you see that we're real. Somebody just coming in from the outside, they're going to be the skeptical ones, and hopefully we win them over. But we really want people to be members of the group so they can see this is how we do things. Well, I think you should have. No, I don't need somebody coming up to me during the show and saying that something we just had should have been different. We have people who collect those notes, because it scars my soul to get railed on during the show. Because we're trying to still complete and finish the show. The most important thing is the next session. Just like in your writing life, the most important day is today. Writing today, preparing those ads today, preparing that promotion campaign today. You know, what's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. Well, if you didn't start 20 years ago, then you've got today. So that's I always encourage people, make the most out of today, and then you will reap what you sow down the road. Because the money you make today, you'll get paid at the end of April. So keep that in mind, too. It's not, hey, if I have a great day today, then I'm going to have a great payday next week. No, you're going to have a great payday in end of April. And if you're writing a book, then it may be May, June. And if you go the trad route, then it may be 2021 for your payday. So there's all different kinds of ways to, sow your seeds, plant your field, and make great things happen. And just like planting a field, nothing happens overnight. It'll be next week, next year before you see the real fruits of those labors. We have trying to balance business and craft and motivational stuff throughout the show. Trying not to, we will have advanced track and basic track, and this is us. We're not going to have gatekeepers saying, "Ooh, hey, you haven't published a book, you can't come into the advanced track session." No, but I just ask you, please don't. It's up to you. Some people are advanced even though they haven't written their book yet, because some people may have spent 20 years in marketing, and they want to know, okay, here, I just need to write the book. Well, I think writing the book is the hard part. And because you can learn advertising, you can learn that other stuff, you can learn the marketing, which I don't find sexy at all. I mean, I do it, and I'm getting better at it, and I know I have to do it, and it's not as tedious and cumbersome as it may seem. So we'll try to get that message across at the show, and demystify some of those processes, give you some new processes, give you some new things to try, some new people to talk to, and it's there's going to be so much. Take your notebook. We're going to give you another notebook this year. Well, you're buying it with your conference fee. A smaller notebook. I like the small one, fit in a pocket. I don't think we had any left behind last year, which was way cool. The smaller ones, they're more fittable in pockets. And for those women who don't have pockets, purseable. I'm sorry for people who don't have pockets. I'm with you. I did the kilt thing and no pocket there, and I was really torn up about it. There was no place to put my hands. I'm almost to tears now without pockets. But I wear a hoodie, which I always have a pocket here, like a kangaroo pouch. So I'm good. All right, let's get past that. So wear clothes with pockets so you can put your notebook in there. But always take a lot of notes, get things. And then, of course, the sessions are recorded. And then be able to connect with people. So networking, making new friends. Don't foist your business cards on people. But if you're having a conversation with somebody, hey, do you have a card? I did a Comic-Con yesterday, and I was woefully ill-prepared for it. So I just threw some books in the truck, and we whipped down there. I didn't have a tablecloth. I didn't have signs for prices or anything. I just stacked my books out I didn't even take a picture of my table because it was so embarrassing. But I was just there hanging out. I didn't expect to sell any books, and I sold $100 worth. There was no overhead, just the cost of gas to drive 30 miles, 40 miles, whatever it is. So hey, made some money. But every one of the people, I never offered my business card and foisted it on them. But they say, hey, do you have contact information? And some people took a picture of my cool banner, which has my website on there, and I gave the others my card. So I gave out six or eight cards is all, and made some sales, and people took pictures of the banner, and that's how to do it. I know other people, it's like, hey, if you're at a show, you want to get all of the customers, all of the attendees to take your stuff. Well, I want the ones who really want my stuff, and that goes with at the show. For those people you meet, I want the people who are interested in me. Here's my card. Now it's different being me, because a lot of people want my card or something for other reasons. But I think I gave out 3 cards last year, 2 cards, because I had no pockets and no place to put them. Have mercy. So, what is the proper uniform of the day for 2020? Clothing. All right, next topic. Are we going to have a cosplay day? I would like to think we could have another cosplay day. I think Wednesday is a great day to have a cosplay day, because Thursday some people may be traveling, and some of the costumes are pretty extravagant. It takes a long time to get into a dinosaur suit, and then it takes a lot to breathe while in one. I don't recommend it for those with weak lungs. But if you're a veteran on Tuesday, hey, wear some military paraphernalia. Wear your USMC veteran T-shirt or just a pin, anything like that. I might put my Marine Corps pin on my lanyard. and that'll be it. Just pride in serving. And I feel that that's what I'm doing now, is serving the writing public, you people, 20 books, 50K, by managing these things, by running these events, by making sure this group runs well. Checking the notes real quick. Hide food inside my dress. Oh yeah, the internet. There's nothing they can do. This is Sam's. That is one place they're not going to invest, because if people are on the internet, guess what they're not doing? So it's almost intentional that the internet sucks because they want you down gambling and not pissing away your time watching Netflix. They'd rather be you pissing away your money in their casino. And one thing I've asked the casino for this year is on Monday and Tuesday to run a few like training sessions, whether on craps, whether on blackjack, so they could teach people, here's how to play. I know we have a number of people who don't go to Vegas and who don't gamble, me included. I don't get. I've never spent a cent, never in the last 3 years. I have not spent a cent. I've not put a single quarter, nickel, dollar, anything in a slot machine or put it on a table. So understand, their purpose is to get you into the casino. That's the whole focus of them. The reason they have shows and make them wildly affordable, which is how we can afford it at such a cheap rate. Next year, the price will probably go up, and the stuff you get, the amount of catering, will probably go down, because to get the size place we want, we're going to have to go closer to the Strip. And the Strip is just expensive. We checked, what was it, like Caesars or a place like that? It was $250,000 just to reserve the place, and then all the catering was on top of that. So if we have 2,500 people, imagine if the first $100 of your fee went just so we could reserve the facility, and then everything else above and beyond was for swag, was for everything else, all of our other costs, like our cost to record, like our cost for the audio visual, which would be all on top of that. I mean, it's moving close to the Strip. It really jacks prices up, but we'll still keep them absolutely as low as possible. But if we're closer to the Strip, you'll have a lot more options for meals and stuff, and then we'll be able to trim the catering down. So we'll keep the prices as low as we possibly can. So yes, I've seen utility kilts. I've actually tried a couple on, but they're kind of rough, and they're kind of rough material. So the boys need the usual nice wool of a real Scottish tartan. So the cosplay on Wednesday, calling Tuesday Military Veterans Day, because it's November 10th. Even though 11th is truly Veterans Day in America, it's so close to Marine Corps birthday. I celebrate the Marine Corps birthday, and that's all I do. Coffee machines are supposed to be in every room. They're supposed to be in every room this year, along with, I think, refrigerators, the little blocky cubey ones. They're supposed in every room in Samstown. I'm not sure of whether Eastside had them or not, but I believe so. I believe both properties were supposed to put coffee machines in every room. So you can still always bring your own, bring a kettle, one of those super cool little boil your own kettles. I like those, because you probably want to bring your own tea unless you like Lipton. I think they did have a couple other options this last year, but I have to say I've become a big fan of Dilmah out of Sri Lanka, the Dilmah tea. So that's I actually already had a cup of that this morning when I was up the first time. So I'm not going to check further, because they said last year that every room was supposed to have one. That's on their website as well. So this year's got 1,500. Imagine that. The main room, we're going to have 1,100 chairs. So the first session will have 1,100 people in there, and we'll have about 500 upstairs in Ponderosa. That's where you checked in this last year, and that's where we had the first year, and we didn't have it 2 years ago. We didn't have that room at all. But use the 500 in Ponderosa, be mostly theater style, and then some tables across the back. We were able to get 400 in there with all tables that first year. So 500 with theater style will be perfectly fine. We'll have dual screens and a mini podium. So and that's the only session. So that the pricing is $199.99 for what I call main room, and $129 for discount. We're calling it a discount just because it's $70 less. Your attendance at the conference is actually more expensive than that. So all the people down in the main room are offsetting your price. So everybody's contributing to the overall good. That's what that pricing is all about. Industry folks are paying an extra $50, but then they get some space on industry day. And then there's also the signing, which is an extra $50, and that's to cover the catering on Friday, because we only initially talked to them for the rooms Monday through Thursday. How hard is it to stay someplace? Not at all. It's all what you want to make it. And there are some folks, a lot of folks who stay on the Strip because, hey, it's a Strip. It's just understand it's a 25-minute taxi ride, and the cost, or Uber or Lyft, whatever you use, to get from the Strip to Sam's Town. Sam's is a little bit off. So that just build that in. But if you like really fine dining, then maybe you do want to stay on the Strip. So you go to Sam's for catch people in the morning, go through the day, and then invite special guests, people you meet, and go to the Strip and enjoy a nice meal. I won't leave the hotel just because it's too much strain and stress. It's an extra hour out of my day that I could be sleeping. Because while I'm there, I mean, you've all seen me. The whole focus is making sure we deliver a great show for you, that we make everybody feel comfortable. And I think we did such a good job. You guys did such a good job last year that the industry, they are stepping up their game. Podium and Tantor. Podium is now bringing 6 people. Tantor is bringing 4 people. It's I talked to Amazon. I had a conference call with them on Thursday. They're bringing a goodly number of people again. We have not heard back from Apple yet. We hope that they'll be able to commit, because we pimped them hard last year about, okay, you can't make it 2019. Put this on your calendar for 2020. Put this into your budget. Please come to Vegas 2020. Kobo, Drafted Digital, BookBub, BookBrush, even Reader Links is already confirmed. So many great industry providers. And on Industry Day, I think we're also going to have some narrators in Industry Day, so you can go actually talk to narrators. And this is an opportunity, even if you aren't going to hire them. That's not the thing. It's about they can relate. Hey, here's what you should look for in a voice for your characters, especially if you're doing single narrator. You've got to make sure that they're acting, that they're doing the voices, that it's not just a deadpan read, which is what I do when I read my own stuff. I just do a straight, here's a read. I'm excited about it, but still, it's just me reading my stuff. It's not acting my stuff. White chocolate raspberry. It's not exactly what it sounds to be. And then again, maybe it is, and that's why it's not hitting home. Anyway, the Industry Day Monday, an exclusive. I'm going to open up registration for industry folks from 8:30 to 9, so then they can cruise in, start getting set up at 10 o'clock. So 9 o'clock, then registration will open for everybody else. 10 o'clock is when we'll open the doors, and you can go in and browse, talk to Amazon, talk to everybody else who has a presence there, whether it's a BookFunnel or cover artists. Ryan Schwartz is doing that for us. He's going to have 10 to 15 cover artists in an area, and he's doing the final. Yes, okay. Here's what we're going to do, and we'll probably have a separate area set off. Amazon has a separate squared off area in Ponderosa that we're going to build for them, so they have more exclusive ability to talk to people. But that's 10 to 4. 10 to 4 is 6 hours of meet and greet. More people probably come later, but if you come in on Sunday, hey, do it early and then get down to the Strip. Go walk around, enjoy yourself. This is Vegas, and hopefully, I know a lot of you are taking family vacations. Come in, get your badge, go walk around, talk to people, find some old friends, meet up. and then go find something great to do, even if it's write words. Even if you are the most introverted of introverts while introverting, go back to your room and write words. Hopefully, make sure you get a room facing the atrium so you can see and look out and see what passes for nature. It's Vegas. It's a better view than the other side. Trust me on that. And and write some words and just be motivated that, hey, look at all these. This hotel is going to be filled. Everybody you see in the hallways is going to be an author. Every single person you see. So you will always have something to talk about. You're going to see the lanyards, black and gold, of course, mostly. What we're going to do for industry is they'll have the same badge as the main room, but they'll have a different colored lanyard. We're going to hook them up with a different colored lanyard because that'll stand out more than a badge. The discount badges will be a different color badge just for that first session, and that's how we'll tell them apart, just to make sure that people are in the right place for that first hour and a half. That's all. And what we're going to do is we'll have the exact same image on both sides of the badge, because that was hard on the monitors last year, the room monitors, because there's so many different images that they had to look at. So we'll just do the exact same image on both sides of the badge. So you write your name on both sides in case it flops over. And that's how we'll do it. We'll have two different badges, discount, primary, and actually, let me think about that, because I don't want to highlight anybody saying, hey, you're a discount badge. It's not about that at all. It's just so that first session that people don't go to the wrong area. Maybe it'd be something as simple as a ribbon that we put on the badge and then you tear it off after the first hour and a half or whatever. I don't know. Let me think on that, because I like everybody we're all peers there. I don't want to show, hey, somebody's different, because the only thing that makes you different is probably the crappy car that you drive, like we all do. My truck died the other day because the battery post wasn't tight enough. So everybody has their crappy vehicle story, even if it's a Beamer 7 Series. That what the hell? The fob won't work. Shit, I'm locked out of my own car. Yeah, I mean, things like that. So that's the only thing that differentiates us. Writing the words, I would recommend you caution yourself about having a great big word goal during the show, because there's going to be so much going on. And if you're thinking about the words, you may not be as focused as much on learning what you need to learn going to the show. Hopefully you can get there, do the whole show, and get home for under $1,000. That remains our goal, to make it as affordable as humanly possible for you to get as much information as you can get. And if you're not going, then you can get 135 hours worth of videos at no cost. But the videos are missing that one extra element, and that's the ability to go ask that speaker a question. Oh my God, you said this. To make it click, yeah, I need an answer to this question. And you can do that if you're at the show. If you're not at the show, not so much. We will have the opportunity to send in questions in case there's not enough questions at a panel, that the people live streaming, if you're watching a session live, you may be able to shoot them a question, and then they'll take that question up and deliver it for the panel. So people at home have the opportunity to possibly get their question asked and answered. If you're watching live, once it's recorded, then you're on your own. Yeah, it's not possible. Okay, let me go through some questions. Uber was $10. Nice to know. Oh, and one thing we're going to do this year is I'm going to contract with Lyft or Uber and throw some money on them to have vehicles to run back and forth between Eastside and Samstown, because we have 250 rooms over at Eastside. There's only 625, I think, in Sam's, and we have all of those. So, but we're having 1,500 people coming. So if you're coming just to come to the show, then Eastside is a viable option. We'll have Uber that you can just drop them a thing. The show pays for it, and they'll just run back and forth between Eastside and Samstown. So, because I really don't want anybody walking by themselves between Eastside and Sam's. Any groups of 2, 3, whatever it takes. Somebody burly. Yeah, everybody's there, and don't. The bathrooms are off limits. Of course, I violated that last year and the year before, and in Edinburgh, and I think even in Adelaide. So that's. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone, but that's the only time I have free to ask questions of other people. Anyway, the everybody is there for everybody else. You'll find that it's the most giving, welcoming, inclusive environment you're going to find anywhere. The staff will be happy because we're happy. Nobody's railing on them. Nobody's angry. And that's really, really important. Let's see, what other questions? Yeah, designs for this year badge. Think about that because we're going to have a contest again. The designers will get a few nickels at the show. We'll give them cash on the spot. The room monitors, our room monitors have already been lined up. Jim Slater has, I think, 14 people tagged. 14 people to be the monitors because we have 5 rooms and we need some floaters and people are going to drop out, so we have some backups as well. Yeah, NaNoWriMo. Hey, I'm sorry you guys made NaNoWriMo during our conference month. Okay, you guys were first, but it's the reason we picked November was we picked an off month where rates were cheapest, once again, in respect of your dollar, and when no other major writing and author conferences were going. So that's why we took that second week in November. I mean, I looked all through it before I picked a time, and it worked for as many people. The first one we did was through a weekend, and we only had a 50-60%, hey, this is okay for me kind of thing. The week, by taking the whole week, especially now that we've expanded to 5 days, or pretty much we've gone beyond a weekend, that it is available to more people. I know some people with demanding full-time jobs, it makes it really hard to take a full week off. But it's what worked for the most people at the right price. And Vegas is the easiest to get to. I mean, Orlando is easy to get to, but it's 4 time zones away from me. As long as I'm running the shows, I'm not going 4 time zones to run a major show. So this one, it's 2 flights. It's 9 hours of travel time for me to get there. And so that makes Vegas the best choice for me and for 20Books, because we're growing to 1,500 people. And I have 2,400 people on the notification list. So I'm thinking that we'll sell out. Even if we had 2,500 seats, we would sell out this year. It's clearly the place to be, and that's because of the attendees. It's not because of me. It's because of the attendees, the people who bring the positive attitudes, bring the can-do attitudes, bring the desire to learn and manage your own business, and do those takeaways. Ask the questions and take notes yourself, because this is for you. This is for every single person out there, every single 20 booker, for doing your stuff. Yeah. So the reader event will as soon as we have the registration, because right now, telling them about it right now, and then you oversleep and you don't get a ticket, that wouldn't be good. So wait until we have our tickets, and then starting in March, we'll start pumping out graphics and stuff like that, because hey, we're asking people to come. And the reason we're doing it on Friday, we did it Thursday a couple years ago, and it was hard to get readers there for a short event on Thursday. Friday, hey, they can whip out after do a morning at work, and then drive over and meet you in the afternoon. So that's going to be 10 to 4 on Friday that we'll have that signing event. So they can come in for a long weekend and they're only off work one day, or just out of the house for a day, as opposed to going on Thursday. It takes too much of the week because they leave Wednesday. Now they're 3 days off work, and it was really difficult for a lot of fans. By making it Friday, and we'll start getting the word out in March. We'll do our graphics, and if you want to do your own graphics, that's great, because you're telling your fans you're going to be there. So put your book covers, put a picture of you, put your best artwork. That's all good. That's how we bring our fans in. We're all going to be trying to bring our own fans in. Oh, there's 2,400 people on the sign-up list, on the notification list. I don't have 100% deliverability. I'll probably have 70 or 80%. So there'll be some people who won't get the message. They didn't put me on their wait list. And we have 1,500 seats. So 2,400 people on the notification list and 1,500 seats. So there's a 900 person delta. And that doesn't include the guest speakers, which we're still working on, and we'll keep working with the guest speakers. I have a separate sign up in case we find somebody we really like to come. I will hold some seats in reserve for them, and I also bought a block of rooms to help out, though, but I don't want to give those out yet. I want to make sure that we keep those and take care of those people who are going to give you the best information you can get. It was great. We have Kat and Larry Martin, still tentative. They have not confirmed. I've sent them both some information, and I know they want to come. Just I think it needs to line up with their. They've got a signing tour that they're doing. It just needs to line up, and hopefully Wolfpack can bring them into Vegas for signing at Barnes & Noble a couple days, and then come over to the show and talk with us. Because both well established. For craft panels, we're going to have some high-end authors, pretty much on all of them. I think we're 7 or 8 $1 million authors this year. It's bigger and better. We'll have basic and advanced tracks. So I already talked about that. What if you can spend $10,000 a month on advertising? How do you get the most? How do you get the most for that money? And where's the next level? When you're spending $10,000 a month, what do you do next? Because if you can afford 20 or 30 grand, what do you spend it on, and how? How do you scale up at that level? And it's not just, hey, raise your bids and drive everybody else off the Amazon page, because that doesn't necessarily work. Scaling up doesn't work that way. So all kinds of opportunities for everyone. And I did not send the test email yet. I was just thinking about that. It's now February, so when I add in all those extra registration names, I'll do it. So I will notify you on 20 books to 50K, as well as the 20 Books 2020 Vegas group, and let people know that I've sent the email out. So I'll shoot that test email. I'll try to shoot it tomorrow. I don't want to add in names too early, because then I got to keep track and for the new additions, because we'll have additional people add in over the next 20 days. So I'll just make sure. I'll send the test email. I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that today. I'll import all the names, add them on top of all the names from last year. If you went last year, I'm going to add the new ones in. So if you're already in the system, it will. It's not going to duplicate. So 2,400 may not be 2,400, maybe 2,000. So it's still more than 1,500. So we'll do what we can. I'll import all those names, and I'll send a test email today. It'll be a real short email, just test, and if you got it, I don't ask you to reply, because poor Kendra would be buried. She gets those emails if you reply to that email. She's doing the email vetting for me, and hopefully, and if you didn't get it, then you need to work with your email provider to make sure you get it on your whitelist. So at least you know, and you know when it goes, so you can check your spam and your other folders and try to put it in your safe one. Once it's on your whitelist and actually gets delivered, then you need to make sure it gets delivered in the right place. Terrified I won't get a ticket. I don't want you to be terrified. I want you to be on the ball. 9 a.m. Alaska time, and there's only one Alaska. The time zone is called Alaska time zone. So don't look for places in Alaska. Look for the Alaska time zone. Food monitors. So yeah, lanyards. The big thing is, if you're going into the conference rooms, you need to have a badge, and that's one thing the room monitors do, because this is Vegas, and there are a lot of people walking around everywhere all the time. We don't want people without badges going into the rooms, because people might leave their briefcase or their folder there. We don't want people who aren't with the group in our rooms. We don't. We want to minimize our exposure to scam artists. We had somebody lose their bag with their notes and stuff last year, because they left it sitting under a chair just outside the room, for Pete's sakes. And somebody came by and snagged it and stole it. And that sucks a whole lot. So that's what the room monitors are to do, is to keep people without badges from going into rooms. So if your better half wants to go in and snag something, also you're really not supposed to leave the room with food. So if your better half is not registered, hanging out, and you want to grab them a snack, you're really not supposed to take food out of the room. You're not supposed to bring outside food into the room. However, if you have a power bar or something like that, of course, bring it in, take care of yourself. We'll try to have enough catering, but we might run out. I mean, especially if people are eating their meals there, it's perfectly fine. We want to eat it all down. And that was one thing I made sure last year was eat until it's gone, because we had so much waste the first year. And I found out that's by design. It's Vegas. They like that cornucopia look. So I was really surprised when they said, "Oh no, you will never run out because we make it all." And I'm like, "No, let's run out. I don't want to waste that food, because once they put it out, they have to throw it away." And that was appalling for me. But so with the revelation, we fixed last year and actually ate down until we ate everything out off the tables, and we went away empty. So that's very important. Yes, we'll use Sked. Sked.com was an all-star last year. Yeah, it's spendy. It'll be, geez, cost us probably about $3,000 this year to use that program, but it is such a good program. You can schedule, especially with how complex the schedule is. Oh my God, we need to keep those moving parts in order. Because one thing I'm going to do again this year is I'll list all the rooms, and I'm not going to I'll put room size limits. However, understand that I may shift rooms around based on what people sign up for. So if you see a room on April or May, whenever I get this first schedule done, and people start signing up and a room shows as full, please sign up as, yes, I'm on the waiting list. Just so I use that for just wickering the rooms to make sure we get the biggest sessions in the biggest rooms, and that's all. And that program is absolutely great for that. So I can switch them with one little tick. I don't have to do anything weird. And I'm not going to print any copies off until probably November this year, because last year we had, what did we have? We had the near final, the final two, and then the final, for Pete's sake. So I don't want to do that again this year, even though I guarantee I will. We'll probably have a final, no, really, the final schedule.com. So anyway, we'll do the best we can. We're going to wicker those rooms around, and that's so Sked, absolutely. We'll use that again. So if your bio is messed up when you put it in the system, don't worry about it. Just do another one when you get into Sked, and then we'll have some additional instructions on Sked, like how to make your profile public. It's not public for everybody. It's public only for those people who are going to the show. So it's not like you're shouting out to the world, "Hey, I'm going to the show." No, only to the other attendees. That's when you make it public. So let's yeah, we're going way deep. I've asked Alex Newton actually to give an advanced session on the data. What is the data really telling you, and what is something that the high-end authors can take advantage of? Yes, get on your phone. Way cool. Because they send out here's your schedule for the day to you specifically. So that works great. Okay, let's see. Yeah. We're not printing paper copies of schedule. That's just extra added wasted paper. So sked.com, or print your own once you get the final, no, really, the final schedule, Vegas 2020, then that one, you can print that one. But if it doesn't say final, you might not want to print it, because you might have to print it again. We're also going to make sure that we have the schedule posted outside the door again this year. The advanced session, all the sessions are recorded, all. It's advanced, basic, all of them. So now, when I was talking with Michael, some of the advanced sessions, he said it's up to he wants it to be up to the moderator to be able to turn off the recording if they need to get into a more intimate and private conversation about that session. So understand that we may do that. So that's but don't take that as, Jesus, I don't have any books published, but I better go to the $10,000 a month spending session. Don't do that. Don't do that. you're just hurting yourself. You're wasting your time. And then if you ask a question that's off kilter, like how do I start my newsletter at an advanced session, then maybe you might get removed. And that's up to the moderator. I'm giving the moderators a lot more authority this year, actually, to even select their panelists. So understand it's not to be threatening or anything like that. It's just to be, I don't want to have gatekeepers. I don't want to say, well, you're not advanced, you can't come in. No, it's really up to you, but I don't want people who you're going to be wasting your time or wasting other people's time. Don't be aggressive in there saying, oh, hey, here's all the high-end authors. Now let me start approaching them and giving them business cards. No, that's a great way to get yourself removed. That's not what the advanced sessions are for. They're for the advanced authors to help them. Everybody's at a different place on the climb up the mountain. I just want people to climb as well as they can, no matter where they are. The basic sessions, the general sessions, the romance track, the science fiction track, all of that is just to give you additional guidance on what sessions might be better for you. Just pay attention. We're putting a lot of work into putting this together that way, so pay attention and don't just blow them off without at least thinking about it first, because you only get one chance to leave a first impression. So do the best you can to leave a good one. Anyway, we're not going to have a business card table this year. That was it wasn't right last year. A lot of people just put their business cards out there for, hey, I'm an author. Here, I write paranormal. That's not the intent of that. It was that was a different purpose. So we're just not going to have that this year. If bring your business cards, but after a conversation, hey, somebody really wants to know more, or at least stay in touch. Here's my business card. That's what the business cards are for at 20 Books Vegas, because it's authors talking to other authors. It's not here spamming authors. Those people usually get removed from 20 Books because, hey, they're just dropping their book out there, spamming and running away. There's a better way, and come to 20 Books Vegas and learn the better way. So, better way is having a conversation and relating, just like you do with your readers. You relate to your readers. They're going to be more attuned to buying your books and reading your books, because they can like people who read my stuff now say they read it in my voice. So that's crazy, but it's what they do. So that's the relationship you need to develop with your readers. A card table at the signing event? No, you just put your cards on your table. We're not going to put extraneous stuff off to the side. This is going to be focused on the authors who are there signing and selling their books. We're not going to have extraneous stuff at that. It's going to be to focus on the people there with tables. And we'll run out of tables. I only have 250 slots. It'll be in Sam's Live. Yeah, the reader. No, the people with books are going to be talking to the readers. This isn't just a general table to put business cards for stuff. No, I'm not going to have that. Sorry. Bring your books. Bring bookmarks. One thing I did yesterday was I had an iPad set up for people to sign up to my email newsletter list if they wanted to right away, so they could do it right there. But unfortunately, my cordless, my Bluetooth keyboard didn't want to match up, so it didn't work. Still, that's what you're trying to do. All right, 250 slots, I think 8 or 10 full tables. It's going to be a major event, and Kevin McLaughlin is going to be running that. And I failed to say Jamie Davis is running Industry Day. So Jamie Davis will be the one who will be managing Industry Day. He'll be the one with his hair on fire on the morning of, running back and forth and making sure that industry folks are all taken care of. There'll be full catering. So you'll have your meat platter or your cheese platter, so low carb. Those options will be available, as well as the veggies and the guac dip and ranch for us heathens. And some other stuff, because 10 to 4. So we'll have cookies probably coming in the afternoon. There'll be coffee and tea throughout, maybe some sodas, maybe not. Just depends on what we have there. And Kevin McLaughlin will be the one, the head rancher for the herd of cats on Friday, because we're going to have people who want to share a table who each bought individual tables. So he'll coordinate how to manage all that to make sure that people who want to be together are together, people who what their genres are. So when readers for paranormal romance come in, they'll be funneled to an area where they're going to hit all paranormal romance or something of that ilk, that style that they like. And then urban fantasy, and then float into fantasy, sci-fi. Here's some nonfiction sections. Here's children's books, all of that. I would not ask you to bring hundreds and hundreds of books. I would say probably more on the order of dozens, and that's just to set the stage, shake hands, ask your fans to come and bring books that they've bought, or you can have books for them to buy there. The big thing is everybody getting their fans. This is the biggest box set anthology thing that you'll have. So everybody is a member of this one big box set. Bring your fans in. Let your newsletter list know, hey, I'm going to be here, and hopefully all of us combined can bring in 1,000 fans, 1,500 fans, whatever it might be, to stroll through the hall, buy a book or two, shake some hands, sign up for some newsletters because you impressed them, and that's what the signing is all about. Make yourself available, and we'll have a central checkout. We can't have direct cash sales because we have to count for the sales tax, and I am personally responsible, because it's my show as the director, for making sure Nevada sales tax gets paid. Wolfpack Publishing has offered their Nevada sales license and will offer a person at the credit card register. We'll have a person handling the cash, and all of that then we'll have a way to keep track, and then the money will go back out to all the individuals. And we'll try to do that as rapidly as possible, like within a day or two, so everybody gets paid. Because we have to, otherwise we get a big fine. Do not be the reason I get fined. That will not be good for you, because I don't want to be fined for not paying my Nevada sales tax. Anyone can sign up for a table. The only way you can't sign up for one is when they're sold out. There you go. Anybody can sign up. So if you have one book, perfectly fine. Do the best you can with that one book. And the list of authors signed. Yes, absolutely. And we'll publish that only as soon as humanly possible after registration is complete and the event is sold out. So yes, we're going to have all of that, and that's part of the graphics. See Michael Anderle, see Martha Carr, see Shane Silvers, see. Oh, and David Weber's coming, but I think he might be leaving on Friday before the event starts, so we won't be able to say David Weber will be signing a few books before he runs off to the airport. So I'll keep working with Sharon, his wife, who manages the schedule and stuff, and see if maybe they can leave a little later in the afternoon. But I don't want to fly until midnight or later. I mean, he's old like me, and I don't like flying late and traveling late. So we'll see. Can newbies? All right. We got those questions. So my 30-minute talk here, it's a little over an hour later, but there's so much. This is Vegas. There's so much going on. We'll have a new spreadsheet with genre dinners. We're going to put that stuff up after registration, so people don't start signing up before they're registered. This is very, 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 very important to make sure you're registered attendee before doing this other stuff. Yeah, that's about it. I'm sure we'll start a share, a roommate share list and things like that, just to help people get more comfortable with going to Vegas and managing their costs. Because this is my intent for the show was always $1,000 or less to invest in yourself, to come to the show, to meet people, to get energized for the year, I hope. So David Weber, he actually asked for a number of sessions, so I think I'm going to ask him. I've asked him for 3 sessions and 2 panels, so he'll do 3 presentations. And let me do a quick check here. What sessions are he going to do? My spreadsheets have grown so massive they take a while to open. David Weber, he'll be doing one on world building. He'll be doing a session on, let me make sure you can see me. Okay. He'll be doing a session on world building, a session on staying creative after all the years in the business. How do you stay creative, keep the ideas fresh, and keep writing? And then he'll also be doing a craft session on developing a strong individual writer's voice. David Weber is currently all trad pub right now, but he is looking at as indie as an opportunity or as an option. So David, who else we've got? Ari Vance, Krishan Keller, Hannah. We've got just too many people to mention right now. Tammy Lebrecht is coming back, talk newsletters, as well as Joseph Alexander is going to talk to advanced newsletters because he took his to the next level with every new subscriber is new to your books. Treat them that way and roll them through from all of your books, all of your series, and those things that you think they might like. So those tips and tricks, those kinds of things. We'll have multiple Amazon basic ad sessions. 1,500 people, probably half, 750 to 1,000 will be fairly new, like 2 or 3 books or less. So how do you Amazon basics? So we'll have a few sessions like that. So you can go to the one you like, maybe go to a couple and compare and see which one has those smorgasbord items that you want to add to your tray. Carefully show some self-discipline, unlike me, in the buffet. So there will be more than you can learn there, but you can pick. You're going to have a long time. We're going to try to get that schedule, the first rough schedule, out as soon as possible, so you can mull it over, think about it, wicker it. That's a great thing about Sched. You can check something and then go back, uncheck it, go check something else, and then come to a final conclusion right at the show. Launch planning, release strategies, a couple different sessions on release strategies. I'll do a separate one on pricing strategies because I watch that very closely and look at those things. When do you price yourself out of the market? When do you not? When will you not see a change when you change price? Those kinds of things that matter. I've got that presentation. I did it up for Kevin J. Anderson. He's coming. And he had asked me about that for his master's class because there's nobody else has anything on a pricing strategy or various strategies that one can use. So many. We do have BookBub ads we'll have this year. Facebook ads, Instagram, Reddit even. So a little bit of something for every freaking buddy. Because, hey, 20Books Vegas, we got 135 sessions. We have 1,500 people. We have the biggest industry presence of any place you'll ever go to where you can actually talk to them, and indies are the focus of their effort. So anyway, with that, February 29th, 9 a.m., and look for me later today sending an email to that list. Peace, fellow humans.